What if you dared to chase dreams that you'd long ago put on a shelf? We're chatting with the best-selling author who went for it and wrote about it and is now offering even more food for thought for women in a new book, right now on Maggie and the Moms.
It's time for Maggie and the Moms. Sponsored by Tampa General Hospital.
Can you imagine leaving the comfort of your life, your established and successful job, and going for it, just chasing your dreams? Well, our guest today not only imagined it, she did it and wrote a book about it. Her memoir is My What If Year. Alicia Fernandez Miranda is here today. She is now out with a debut novel as well that also is really resonating with women and moms everywhere. Alicia, welcome. So good to have you here.
Oh, Maggie, it's so great to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
Deanna and I are both just like we love books. We share that in common.
Yes.
And the topics, the things that you write about, they really do resonate with moms, with women, beginning with My What If Year. First, for those listeners and viewers who don't know, tell us what you did.
So I think back now fondly on it as my midlife crisis. And in 2019, I had done everything that I thought I was meant to do. And I still just felt unhappy, unsatisfied. And I was asking myself this question, what if? What if I had tried something different? So I decided to plan out a year where I would go do internships at all the jobs I dreamed about doing when I was a kid and never got a chance to try.
Stop.
And to basically see like what life would have been like if I had taken these other paths.
Didn't you have a job at the time?
Oh, I did.
Didn't you have a family at the time? I am the voice of all the women who have ever thought this, myself included, and then shut themselves up by saying that. But wait.
Yeah.
How did you deal with the but wait?
I mean, the but wait period, it was like that happened for a while because it wasn't just like I had the idea and then I was like, oh, sure, now I'm going to go and do it because I felt so guilty.
Yes.
How could I leave? I felt selfish, like I was only thinking about myself. And it just felt so insane. Like the one internship that I really wanted to do was go to New York and work on a Broadway musical. And I was living in London at the time. So that was going to involve leaving my job, leaving my kids, finding a Broadway musical that would let me come and be an intern for them. So it just seemed so difficult. But it got to the point where I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was gnawing at me. I thought about it every night when I went to sleep. And so at that point, I was just like, you know what? I have to do this. Like, I have to take this step. At least let me just try one and see what happens. And if it blows up spectacularly in my face, then I won't do any more. But at least I will have tried it.
Okay, so the first conversation with Carlos, your husband, I have this idea. How does that go?
Do you know, I think at first, because Carlos and I have worked together for many years, we built a consulting firm together. And he's very proud of the fact that we had built this business as a family that we were both working in. And so I think the first conversation he was confused. He had to get his head around it. And I think part of him was just like, why isn't this enough for you anymore? And there was definitely, even though our marriage was strong, there was a lot of like, what's not enough for you? But then he was the person that really pushed me to do it because I was still back and forth. Oh no, I can't do this. I couldn't possibly do this. And I remember this conversation. I wrote about it in the book that we were sitting outside. I was having coffee. I was like crying yet again. I was like, I'm never going to be able to do this. And he was like, go inside right now, get your computer, find a month where you don't have anything scheduled and just block it off. And that's the month that you're going to go and do the first one. He was like, just do it. Just get up and stop complaining about it. Just get up and do it. I will do what I need to. And I probably wouldn't have done it if I hadn't had his encouragement.
Carlos.
Everybody
he's over
get
there
yourself
listening.
a Carlos, right?
We need a Carlos.
Everyone needs a Carlos
in our lives. I have a Carlos, though. His name is Mike. I don't know if my Carlos is named Mike. I don't know what his reaction would be. I don't know that I'd have the courage to even say it. So bravo to both of you for both of those things.
Yeah.
What did leaving mean leaving behind? Paint the picture for us.
So I had so many responsibilities and obligations. I was doing, like everyone I know, a million things, especially in that pre-COVID era. I was the parent rep for my kids' class at school. I was on the board of 3 nonprofits. I was running a company. I was responsible for the dog and walking the dog like half the time, And so I had I had a life. I had a full life. I had financial responsibilities, professional responsibilities. So it really did, when I tell you it felt impossible, that's not just something I'm saying after the fact that I did. It really felt impossible. But so I had to go one by one for everything and be like, okay, I'm going to be doing this project. I'm going to be stepping away for the next month. Somebody else needs to plan the pancake breakfast for all the moms at school for February and March and May and April.
How old were the kids?
The twins were 8 at the time.
8.
Yeah.
So how do you explain it to your kids?
I had always traveled a little bit for work. So they knew that mommy had a job and that mommy needed to sometimes go. And I think at the beginning, this just felt like another thing I was going to do for work. But then after, it's been kind of extraordinary as it's unfolded, as it became a whole year, as it became a book. The kids got to come on book tour with me the first time around. And they were able to see that I was out there doing something I felt really passionate about, that I cared about, that wasn't like all the other moms necessarily were doing. And they were proud of that, I think. And I hope that it's given them a window and that you can build a life and a career, and you don't just have to say by the time you get to a certain age, like, oh, well, this is it. This is just what I'm doing now. That there's always chances to learn something new and explore.
I love that. So what would you say to women who are hearing you and say, I love the sound of that, but I don't know if it's feasible for me? What questions should we be asking ourselves? Or should we just not just do it?
I mean, if you can do something like this, sometimes it's just about getting over the fear and shutting off the shoulds and the coulds in your head. But, in a lot of ways, there are very practical reasons that people can't go and do this. Full-time jobs, caring responsibilities. But I think what I try to remind people and what I need to remember is that the year didn't start out as a year. Mm-hmm. The year started out as a moment. I was going to do this one small thing. And it felt huge at the time. But it wasn't a whole year and changing my career and all of that. It was just this one thing that I was going to do. And I think we all have that. I've met so many women throughout touring with this book over the past few years who have that dream that they're like keeping really quiet inside of them. Yes. One of my favorites is a woman I met at a conference, and she came up to me and she said, I just turned 50 and I've always wanted to enter a bodybuilding competition, but I've never even lifted weights before. And I was like, girl, you have to go and do this. Tell me about it.
Please
Follow
tell
me
me that that's happening. Do you know?
And she sent me an Instagram reel a year and a half later, where she had placed 3rd in her first bodybuilding competition that she did in her 50s.
Because of you.
In her bikini. I mean, she was the one that got him to do it. But the book gave the spark.
Yes.
And it just made me so happy. So it doesn't have to be leaving your job or leaving your kids. Sometimes it's maybe you want to learn French. Maybe you want to play tennis. Maybe you want to write a book. I mean, so many people that want to write books, and that's their what if. So my advice is the thing that you can do, just do it. Don't overthink it. For most things, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
You'll be exactly where you started.
I've heard sometimes you have to just say it out loud. You have to say it to a person, and that's probably what that woman did. Yes. She just said to you, you think things a million times. I think I said out to myself, I want to learn Spanish, but I kept saying it just to myself. And then when I say it out loud, then you do it.
You
have to be accountable
and
for
you
it.
have.
Increíble con lo bien que lo habla. Sí.
Mentirosa.
No, see what I mean? She's unbelievable. All right, so you have to tell us what that first thing was.
Yeah.
So the first thing, which was the ultimate dream, was to work on a musical. I grew up loving musical theater, and I had never really thought about it. Just going into an artistic career was not something I had been raised to think I could do. I had to go get the job, the business job, and get a good salary and do all of that.
Studied economics.
Exactly. So I had to do all of those things that made sense. But every time I would go see a musical, I would just feel so good. I was like, I bet you can feel like this all the time if you do this. So I did exactly what you said. I told 2 of my girlfriends, I've had this insane idea. I've told no one about it. I'm telling you. And my friend Laura, whose dad he was a writer for Broadway for many years. She said, I'm pretty sure my dad can find some productions for you to just
Look what happened because you said something.
Because I said it out loud.
Manifest.
I had a few martinis, but I was glad I did it anyway.
Sometimes you need good lubrication.
Alicia's RX is have your favorite drink
Little
and
martini,
tell somebody.
But telling somebody. And then the more you tell people, the easier it becomes to say it. And the more it feels like something you could really
accomplish.
Yeah.
So the first one happens. And then when do you decide to do the next?
Well, so I took off I organized everything in my life. I finally got all the ducks in a row. I took off to New York on February 29th, 2020. to go work on Broadway. So yeah, every time everybody hears the date,
it's the same reaction.
So it was cut short. I managed 2 incredible weeks in New York where I was working on these musicals, and then I had to turn around and come back home and go into lockdown in the UK and homeschool my children and do all of those things.
So the dream was put on hold.
The dream was put on hold.
For only a little while. We're going to continue hearing about that dream after this short break. Be right back. What if I did the thing that I always wanted to do but never had the courage to actually do? Alicia Fernandez Miranda knows the answer to that question. You were just telling us about how you dared to go for your dream of working on Broadway in a musical. It was short because of COVID, but you did it.
I did it.
And what was it like for you, and what did you take from it?
It was the greatest. I was shadowing and kind of interning, really just like sweeping up floors, filling up water bottles for people on 2 musicals, one that was about to open on Broadway and one that was in rehearsals for an off-Broadway opening. And so it was just extraordinary. I had to go back to being a beginner. I knew nothing. I was the person in the room that knew the least about anything happening. So I had to pay attention. I had to ask questions, even stupid questions. It was incredibly humbling. So I learned so much being able to do that. And then being around artistic, creative people, they would put 110% of themselves into every scene, every rehearsal. They didn't care if they looked stupid. They didn't care if they made a mistake. So most of these people were also working other jobs while they were trying to work in the theater. And so this pursuit of your passion, almost at any cost, was so refreshing and really inspiring. And I took that with me for sure.
So it's not just that you learned the ins and outs of that profession. There was a life lesson there that you didn't expect.
Totally.
That's incredible.
It was so extraordinary.
So then were you like, I got to do another one?
Well, so I went, COVID happens. I fly home. We are locked down in the UK, like can't leave the house locked down. The kids are in homeschool now. I have to step back into my company to keep things afloat. And even with all of this around me, I couldn't fathom giving up this project because, I had another internship lined up. It got canceled, of course, because everything was closed. So I spent a few weeks just being like very depressed and thinking like, I'll never do this again. I'm just going to bake cinnamon rolls for the rest of my life. And then because I had eaten
Deanna's like, sounds good to me because she's a baker. She would love that.
That was like my COVID
the lockdown
project.
thing to do. Sourdough cinnamon rolls,
pies. And then as a result of all the baking, I was like, I actually need to do some exercise because that's going to happen. And I was scrolling Instagram and I found a woman who had been my personal trainer and like a dance teacher I had taken classes with. And she was doing virtual fitness from her living room. And so I reached out to her and I was like, hey, this sounds crazy, but like, do you need an intern? Because I'm trying to do this project. I was always sort of interested in fitness. And I was like, I need to keep going with this. I cannot stop. I've put too much into this.
Good for you.
To just let it go. And she said, sure, you can be my intern.
Again,
so
you asked.
I asked.
Said it out loud.
And she was so excited. So I did a virtual internship with her. I did all of these fitness classes around the world online as market research. And I did her social media, which I had to really learn how to do. So I was like a real intern for that one, like doing the spreadsheets and all the
How
social
many
media
internships
stuff.
total did you wind up doing?
I did 4 in the end. So I worked for a contemporary art dealer in London, buying and selling art. And then I worked at a hotel and restaurant in Scotland where I was living at the time. Doing everything, housekeeping, waitressing, checking people in, spilling food on people. I did a lot of that.
Did any one of them make you want to leave your chosen profession and go do something else full time?
Such a good question. What I came out of that thinking was that I kind of didn't want to do any one thing full time. I loved being able to try new things and learn new things. And so I have been since then writing half the time, which has been an amazing gift. It's like my secret 5th internship. I went to work for the art dealer for like 3 years after that, just part-time, just continuing to work with him. I continued to do the consulting and philanthropy work that I was doing with some of my time, and then just really prioritizing trying new things, learning new things, doing stuff that felt scary or uncomfortable, and just not stopping or feeling like, okay, this is just, I'm going to coast for a little while. Like I realized that the thing I needed was not to coast for a little while.
Well, can I what if for a second?
Please.
I wish you would.
one of the things that you did is one of my big what ifs. I want to live abroad for a little bit. So how did you do that?
She just said it out loud. Let the
said it
record
out
reflect.
loud. Pay attention. It will start to come to you. So I went to graduate school in London. I never traveled when I was growing up, and I didn't go to Europe until I was in college. And when I first went to Europe, I was like,
now you live in Europe.
There's a whole world out there that I have never experienced before. So I went over as a student first, which is not a bad way to do it if you can. And then we were able to go back on a working visa after I got married, which doesn't really exist anymore. But there are actually so many pathways now if you want to pick up and go. You should not quit this wonderful job that you have here. But if
Thank you
did
for telling
decide
her that.
to move overseas, there are ways to
Although
do it.
I would support it if you had like this unbelievable opportunity, but where do you even begin? Right?
The real dream is I want to own a house abroad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that I can live here and just go there whenever I want to.
Yes.
That's the real dream.
Yeah.
Oh, I said it out loud. Let's go.
Yes.
Big and board.
Your what if?
And what about the baking in Italy? And that we need to go. We need to go to a school. Both of us. It's a cooking school and baking.
Okay.
And we're there. We're going to immerse ourselves.
Okay, I want to learn pasta in Italy and baking in Switzerland.
This is such a good project.
Yes. Alicia, look, you're getting,
I think you should do it.
the
Wheels
wheels
are turning.
turning. So thank you. I know that was your intention. You did it for other people because now other women, as evidenced by the woman who's the bodybuilder,
Yes, love her.
has learned from. And you yourself grew and learned a lot. So congratulations
Thank
on a
you.
successful project. It also led to this love of writing and your debut novel now out. Someone's got to give. Someone's got to give. I sent you a photo. I was reading it on a plane, and we were going. I don't even remember where, but I remember my husband being like, "Can you get out of bed in the hotel?" Because I was like, "Wait. It's like we got things to do, people to see, places to go." But I just wanted to keep reading Lucia's story.
That makes me so happy because I worked very hard on her. You know, I wanted
Tell
her.
us about her.
So Lucia is a diehard do-gooder. She's been a fundraiser her whole life and a workaholic. She's Latina, she's Venezuelan, and at the prologue of the book, she meets this handsome British man. And so the story really begins with her in London, new mom, new expat, new wife, really trying to find her purpose again after having a baby and moving overseas. And so she gets a job as a philanthropy advisor at London's poshest private bank, helping the rich and powerful do good and give their money away. And so she has to navigate motherhood and ambition and being an expat and this world of extreme wealth while trying to do good and have a great time while doing it without losing herself, ideally.
Only that. That's
only
is
that.
that
Only that
all?
small little task.
It resonated with me for so many reasons. But first is those early weeks and years when you have a child. And I, for one, left my career to raise my child. And I remember many, many moments of feeling like, what have I done? I am just a mom now. Was that the right thing? The answer was ultimately yes. But you really captured that feeling really well.
I think it's such a tension because there's no, I think that mothers that choose to stay home sometimes think about what else is out there. I think that mothers that work feel incredibly guilty sometimes that they're not home with their kids. It's like a no-win situation.
And then that happened for Lucia after when she finally did get the job. Then, as you say, it was the opposite. Like, oh, am I there enough for my kids and my husband?
And I think that is such a real and relatable feeling that so many women have when they have children, and especially women who've been brought up to be like, I'm ambitious. I want to do this thing that I love, and I want to be a good mom, and I want to have a family. And so Lucia has to go through all of that for herself. And it was real, like going back there to write that. Even though it's a novel, I'd say that her motherhood journey are probably some of the most realistic parts of the book for me, to give her that emotional depth. And a lot of what I was feeling, the guilt and the fear, but also the wanting to be back in it and around other adults, having adult conversation that didn't rhyme or have to do with changing diapers. Like, I was really itching to get back, but at the same time, I didn't want to leave my kids. It was tough.
You said that your character, but this was in real life, Googled, "Does my baby hate me?" Can you take us back to that?
It was a moment. So I have twins. They're 14 now, but I was just so unprepared. I had had a difficult fertility journey to get there. So I kind of didn't even acknowledge that they were coming until they were here. And then I was like, oh, okay, now I have babies and I have to deal with this. And I just remember, they were born in November in London, where the days are very short. So the sun is setting at 3:30. My husband would be at work and I would be home alone, just thinking, have I made the right decision with my life? What have I done? Do these kids even like me? Like my daughter, who is one of the most amazing humans I have ever met.
Now 14 years old.
Now 14 years
back
old.
then.
But, you know, she used to make this little pouty face, like, and so I remember Googling, like, is it possible that my baby hates me? Because, but it was that constant insecurity. I was so insecure.
And so you gave that to Lucia in the book, and that was a great moment in the book. There are so many and so many takeaways. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some of them.
Okay.
Final Reflections with Alicia Fernandez Miranda. She is the author of 2 books, My What If Year and Someone's Gotta Give, the novel that we were just talking about, your second baby. So now you have 2 human babies and 2 literary babies. So congratulations. Takeaways, so many for me. One of them is that you can do it all, but you have to have the right support system.
Totally.
Right? And I don't know. I feel like you can't have it all at the same time. But you can't have it. You can't have it all in life. But the support system that Lucia found, I thought was a really important part of the book.
Yeah, she has to learn how to be someone who can ask for help. Like at the beginning of the book, she struggles to ask for help, and she needs to be able to ask her husband for help, her coworkers for help, and that's something that's really hard for her. And I think, you know, when you're used to doing it yourself and thinking you're strong enough to do it all yourself, it can be really difficult. But one of the most powerful things to be able to ask for help of others and to kind of own who you are. Like that's a big part of her journey as well. In order to be somebody who wants to work and be a good mother, she has to own and accept that she's not going to be there all the time for everything.
Right.
And that has to be okay. She has to be okay with that. And she has to come to terms with that.
Well, because she had to have a Carlos, right?
She did.
To bring it full circle.
She had to have a Carlos. Everybody needs a Carlos. That's how you do it.
Everybody needs a Carlos. But she also had a female bestie. And that's, we all need our mom friends too. And the right mom friends.
Mine are the greatest thing in the world, I have to say. I have a couple WhatsApp groups of just best friends. Our kids are a range of ages, but that's where we first go. And we're like, this is hard. This is not working for me. And it's so amazing to be able to be honest with people about that in a judgment-free space. We all know we love our kids. We know we love our spouses, but sometimes we're like, this is maybe not what we had pictured. What do we do about this? And to have somebody just be like, keep going. Right. You are doing okay is amazing. I had to give Lucia a good bestie. She needed one.
Oh, she was great. I love her. So I loved that she had this bestie, and basically that when you reach out to mom friends, that you realize that you're not the only one who's gone through stuff. And that's why having a village is so important.
Yeah.
So what are you up to now, book-wise?
Well, I am continuing to write about this topic of motherhood, which seems to be the thing I can think about. I've got a book that's on submission right now. It's called 2 Places at Once, and it's about a mom of teenagers and also trying to figure out that same conundrum, but in slightly different ways. I'm doing some screenwriting, and I'm still doing all my jobs and like trying to figure out my crazy plans. My plan for 2026 is to do one thing every month that I would never normally do.
That scares you?
So for me, that's like sports.
Okay.
Magic.
So I was
going
to ask you, do you have any more what ifs? But it sounds like you do, and you're tackling them.
I'm gonna try. You'll see me on the rugby field or something like that, looking miserable. But I'm going to try it once and see what happens.
Get in the scrum.
I know you'll do it. Thank you so much, Alicia. You're inspiring and you're awesome.
Thank you both. This was amazing.
All right, and thank you all for listening and watching Maggie and the Moms. Hasta la próxima, Diana. Till next time.
Diana.